The truth about 2026 SUV range, gas versus hybrid versus EV, finally revealed. In the ever-evolving landscape of automotive technology, 2026 really marks a pivotal year for SUVs. Buyers, face a clear choice among traditional gasoline-powered models, efficient hybrids, and those cutting-edge electric vehicles. This narrative promises unfiltered insights and, well, that's exactly what we're delivering, drawing from real-world EPA estimates, manufacturer data, expert tests, and practical considerations for drivers in all sorts of scenarios, like daily commutes in bustling cities, long family road trips, or even rugged adventures. The gasoline baseline, reliable but, honestly, a bit thirsty. Traditional gas SUVs still remain the workhorses for many, offering straightforward refueling at just about every corner and strong towing capabilities, all without the complexities of batteries or plugs. But, their range advantages come at the cost of higher fuel consumption and operating expenses. Take popular midsize options like the Toyota Highlander or Honda Pilot gas variants. These typically deliver somewhere around 22 to 28 miles per gallon combined, translating to real-world ranges of 400 to 500 miles on a full tank, with 18 to 20 gallon capacities. Larger full-size SUVs, like the Chevrolet Tahoe or Ford Expedition, usually fare worse, often hovering at 20 to 24 miles per gallon combined for ranges around 400 to 450 miles, though their massive tanks do help. In 2026, even efficient gas crossovers, think Nissan Rogue or Kia Sportage, achieve 30 to 33 miles per gallon combined in their base trims, yielding ranges of 450 miles or more. These vehicles really excel for buyers prioritizing simplicity, maximum payload, or towing, often 5,000 to 8,000 pounds or more, and absolutely no range anxiety. Cold weather or heavy loads barely dent their usability, since a quick 5-minute fill-up restores full capability. Yet, the truth reveals some drawbacks. Volatile gas prices, often $3 to $5 a gallon depending on where you live. Higher emissions, and those long-term ownership costs. For a driver covering 15,000 miles annually at 25 miles per gallon and $4 a gallon, fuel alone exceeds $2,400 a year. Maintenance like oil changes adds up, and resale values may lag as electrification accelerates. Gas SUVs do suit those with frequent long hauls in areas with sparse charging or heavy towing needs, but honestly, efficiency gains have kind of plateaued compared to the alternatives. So, let's talk about hybrids. Really, they're the sweet spot when it comes to efficiency and versatility. In 2026, hybrids bridge the gap brilliantly, combining gasoline engines with electric motors for seamless operation. And here's the thing. With standard hybrids, or HEVs, there's no need to plug in, yet you still get superior range and miles per gallon, all without sacrificing convenience. Some real standouts are the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, which gets around 40 to 43 miles per gallon combined. The Kia Niro Hybrid offering up to 53 miles per gallon combined, with about 588 miles total range on a smaller tank. The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid at 36 to 38 mpg, and the Honda CR-V Hybrid, which can reach up to 40 mpg. These compact to mid-size SUVs routinely hit 500 to 600 plus mile ranges on just one tank, outperforming a lot of gas-only models and cutting fuel use by 30 to 50%. Now, plug-in hybrids, or PHEVs, take things even further. For example, models like the Toyota RAV4 plug-in hybrid offer 48 to 52 miles of electric-only range and 37 to 41 mpg once the battery's depleted, with total ranges that can easily surpass 500 to 600 miles. The Nissan Rogue PHEV gives you 38 miles of EV range and up to 420 miles total. And if you're looking for something more luxurious, the BMW X5 xDrive 50e delivers 38 miles miles of EV range and strong performance, while the Range Rover Sport PHEV can go up to 53 miles on electric power alone. So, you get refinement and efficiency all in one package. Let's put this into a real-world scenario for a second. Imagine a family living in Abuja or, a similar urban or suburban setting. They commute 40 miles every day. With a PHEV, most of those trips are handled on cheap or off-peak electricity, or even free home solar if they've got it. Then the car switches to hybrid mode for those weekend getaways. Range anxiety? Pretty much gone. You're only filling the tank every 500 miles or more. Plus, hybrids often accelerate quicker, thanks to that instant electric torque. They keep solid towing capability, though sometimes just a bit less than pure gas models, and they qualify for incentives. Battery degradation isn't much of a worry either, since warranties typically cover 8 to 10 years or 100,000 plus miles. Hybrids work well in all sorts of climates too. Regenerative braking grabs energy in stop-and-go traffic, and the gas engine helps out when it's cold and batteries aren't at their best. Of course, there are a couple of drawbacks, mainly a slightly higher upfront cost, usually $2,000 to $5,000 more than a gas-only car, and a bit more complexity under the hood. But honestly, you get that money back pretty quickly through fuel savings, sometimes $1,000 to $2,000 a year if you drive a lot. In 2026, hybrids really are the pragmatic truth for most people. They're versatile, proven. Just look at Toyota and Lexus reliability, and they're future-proof, all without needing to depend on a full charging infrastructure. EVs, they're really leading a silent revolution, and their horizons just keep expanding. By 2026, electric SUVs have matured in a big way, with ranges that actually rival or even beat what you'd get from gas or hybrid vehicles on a full tank. You get that instant torque, way less maintenance, no oil changes, fewer brake jobs, and honestly, they're almost whisper quiet when you drive them. Some of the flagship long-range leaders are pretty impressive, like the Lucid Gravity, which can go up to 450 miles, or the Rivian R1S, offering up to 410 miles in certain trims. The Cadillac Escalade IQ is right up there too, around 460 miles, but it's not just about luxury. There are more accessible options now, like the Hyundai Ioniq 9 or Kia EV9, both giving you over 300 miles, the Chevrolet Equinox EV at about 319 miles, and several versions of the Tesla Model Y, ranging from 300 to almost 387 miles. If you're after a luxury ride, the BMW iX and Audi Q6 e-tron both deliver between 300 and 360 miles or more. Charging has really come a long way too. These days, a lot of electric SUVs support 150 to 350 kilowatt DC fast charging, so you can add, 150 to 200 miles of range in just 15 to 25 minutes. For most folks, home level 2 charging, just plugging in overnight, covers your daily driving no problem. And when it comes to efficiency, many of these vehicles are rated at over 100 mpg, which in plain terms means your electricity costs could be the equivalent of paying $1 a gallon or even less for gas. Pretty wild, right? So, let's talk about the EV ownership story. Imagine for a second a tech-savvy professional starting their day. They tackle a 50-mile morning commute on a 400-mile battery, and, they still arrive with about 80% left. Thanks to regenerative braking and one-pedal driving, they're squeezing out every bit of efficiency. Planning a weekend trip? No problem. Just use an app to find chargers along the way, and honestly, those 20 to 30-minute stops kind of feel like coffee breaks. The total refuel cost for 15,000 miles? Maybe $400 to $600, compared to more than $2,000 for gas. And performance? We're talking 0 to 60 in 3 to 5 seconds as a pretty common thing, plus software updates that keep adding features over time. Of course, there are still challenges. Upfront prices are higher, though incentives do help. Charging infrastructure is excellent in cities but can get spotty in remote areas, and, sure, extreme cold can reduce your range by about 20 to 40% temporarily. towing drains the battery faster, and long trips definitely require some planning. People worry about battery replacement costs, but warranties and improving battery chemistry are making those concerns less of a headache. By 2026, with expanding networks and super-efficient models like Lucid leading the way, range anxiety is mostly a myth for most drivers. Alright, let's get into some head-to-head truths. Range, cost, and lifestyle fit. For range, gas vehicles deliver a consistent 400 to 500 miles. But yeah, they do guzzle fuel. Hybrids and PHEVs can go 500 to 600 miles or more, and they're super flexible. EVs can match or even exceed that on a full charge. Think 300 to 450 miles or more, but they do depend on charging infrastructure. In real-world testing, hybrids often come out on top for predictability, especially for mixed-use drivers. Now, for cost. Gas vehicles have high ongoing fuel expenses. Hybrids usually offer the best total ownership value for a lot of folks, with a quick payback period. EVs? They have the lowest per-mile cost if you can charge at home, plus you get tax credits and cheaper maintenance. For performance and practicality, EVs lead in acceleration and overall refinement. Hybrids strike a balance in just about everything. Gas, though, still excels when it comes to heavy work or hauling. On the environmental front, EVs win with zero tailpipe emissions, though that does depend on your local grid. Hybrids cut emissions significantly too. And honestly, all these options get better by 2026 with improved technology. Let's look at some buyer scenarios. If you're an urban commuter or a family, a PHEV or an EV is probably your best bet. If you're a highway warrior or you tow often, gas or a strong hybrid makes sense. Eco-conscious and have home charging? Go for a full EV. If budget and reliability are your top priorities, a proven hybrid like the RAV4 or CR-V is tough to beat. So, here's the 2026 verdict. The truth is, there's no single winner. Hybrids often provide the most practical range and overall value for the average buyer, blending the best of both worlds. EVs really surge ahead where the infrastructure is good, offering big savings, and honestly, a lot of driving joy. Gas vehicles still stick around as the reliable choice for certain needs. My advice? Test drive several, calculate your mileage and routes, and don't forget to consider incentives and whether home charging works for you. 2026 SUVs give you more choice than ever. Whether you want a 600-mile hybrid tank, a 450-mile EV charge, or just the simplicity of a gas fill-up, the real truth is that matching your vehicle to your lifestyle is what brings satisfaction. The future is getting more electrified, but really, every path offers capable and exciting SUVs. So, research specific models, visit a few dealers, and, drive the data. Your perfect range is out there.